Welcome to Boots in Baltimore. I'm LeeAnn Blanchard. I'm here with Randi Pupkin from Art with a Heart.
Thank you for having me today.
Welcome. Well, I'm really excited. I've just concluded a tour, so we'll put some pictures on our interview. First of all, just tell me a little bit about Art with a Heart.
So Art with a Heart is a 22-year-old community art organization that brings visual art classes into under-resourced communities in Baltimore, like schools, shelters, group homes, community centers, hospitals, senior facilities. And that is the core work that we do. And then our tree, that's the trunk of our tree, grew branches. And we have a workforce development program, a social enterprise retail store, a community service and public art initiative, and then a teen leadership initiative, all which flourished from the trunk of our tree. We're busy.
Absolutely.
Yes.
This is a pretty big space, actually, and lots of things going on.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit more about those programs.
So the core programs, or the trunk of the tree programs, we have had as many as 14,000 classes a year. Pretty terrifying when the pandemic happened, and we provide a hands-on visual art program, and that ended, very abruptly in March of 2020, and it only took about a week and a half for this crew to figure out how to make it work, and we packed over 12,000 art kits that we provided to school students with virtual programming. We're back up to about 12,000 classes a year, which translates to almost 200,000 visual art experiences for children in Baltimore. We also program with seniors, but for this program, they would be alone and sitting pretty idle. So, we believe art is good for the soul, no matter the age. And then the first branch that grew from the tree was our workforce development program, which is 19 years old now. And we use art as a vehicle to teach job skills, mostly to students who have aged out of other programs or school, and many are homeless, often referred to as opportunity youth. So we partner with different organizations that work with those youth, and we provide them with soft job skills while learning how to make marketable works of art, which segues perfectly into our retail store called Heartwares. The workforce program is called Heartworks, and everything is displayed and sold there that's created by students and volunteers. And then public art, we have over 300 public art pieces in the community. We engage over 3,000 volunteers a year through our community service efforts, and that's individuals and corporate service groups. And then the last initiative, which is 8 years old now, is our Art of Leadership program, which brings together a diverse cohort of 10th and 11th grade students to engage in dialogues across cultural barriers. And as you saw from the tour you had today, this is a melting pot of humanity here, and really that teen initiative was putting structure around what was already happening in our space. So that group does a public art project. It's called their capstone public art project every year. So we're busy. It's something.
Absolutely. Well, which of those programs would you say is growing the fastest?
I would say that programming remains pretty consistent. We are really affected by the labor shortage. So we're finding it difficult to meet the need. So there's, since the pandemic, there's an increased need for programming. Schools are reaching out, after school programs are reaching out, but we're having a hard time filling that need. So that is definitely, it's growing, but it's a challenge right now. And we are really kind of zooming in our public art realm. Really all of them are, when I think about it. The workforce development program had the most students we've ever had, 300 students last year engaged in that program. And so I would say, the teen program we limit to 20 students, so we're not growing that so much. But the others are really very grateful that they continue to grow and flourish, really.
So, well, one of the questions that I wanted to ask is, how can you measure the impact that you're having on the community with all of your projects?
Well, I think that there's a different standard that we would measure depending on which branch you're looking at. Certainly, we are filling a void in programming in schools and all the places, shelters, group homes, all of those places that, but for Art with a Heart, those children and youth would not have access to visual art. Mm-hmm. So we're filling a lot of voids mm-hmm. in different ways. But I would say that we measure that by the number of students that have the opportunity to engage in creative expression, and that is so important to human growth and development.
Yeah, from my previous volunteer experience, I used to volunteer at Free Arts, and I can definitely attest that the therapeutic impact of art, especially on those traumatized populations, the isolated, the lonely, the trauma-bound, absolutely priceless. And like you said, it's hard to measure, but
right.
But just in the number of people that you're able to impact, you know that it impacts them every time they have this chance to create art.
Exactly. And you know, for the little babies, it's just, you know, they learn so many things young while creating, you know, focus, detail, teamwork, collaboration, creativity, you know, all the things that can carry them through in their education. Mm-hmm. So beautifying communities through public art, you know, we installed one of our largest mosaic murals it's called the Midtown campus of the University of Maryland Medical Center. And we all have gone into doctors' offices that look horrible, and this is a huge 17-foot mosaic mural. And I said to the administration there, it just shows your patients how much you care about what their experience is when they walk in here, because it's beautiful. Mm-hmm. And
there's something comforting about that.
Yes, and I really respect that. And we also earlier last year installed a sculpture in front of the main entrance of University of Maryland Hospital, a big heart sculpture. It's 8 feet by 6 feet, and I'd like to think that people feel a sense of community and love when they see that before they walk into the building for an oncology visit or something. So
makes it less scary.
Yeah, beautifying neighborhoods is, you know, we measure the impact by knowing that we're uplifting community through art.
Well, so we're here in a mill building, historical setting. Why locate here?
We are in Hampden, mm-hmm. and there are several mills in Hampden. Prior to being in this space, we've been in this space for 5 years next month. Prior to this space, we were in another industrial kind of space. It was an old stable building that had been renovated and was office space. And we outgrew that, and I must have looked at 75 different spaces all over the city. We have big needs. We mm-hmm. have a store that had to be accommodated, and you know we
need lots of storage space,
and we need storage and
program
studio space, right? Exactly, and places to meet and talk mm-hmm. like this. And this was a space that I saw on a Friday afternoon at 4, and I immediately knew this was our space. And we have about 8,000 square feet here. And we're probably bursting a little. I explained that we just painted, the landlord just painted the space, so we're a little flustered right now, but we're going to clean up and hang our art back up and get it together soon. Yeah.
So how do you utilize volunteers, and how can people get involved if they'd like to volunteer?
Well, we love volunteers. We have them participate in every aspect of the organization. I described this tree and the mm-hmm. branches, so everything from working in the office on a public art project to helping in a classroom to helping prepare for programming. input in every part of our.
And so you don't have to have talent.
No, in fact, I'm a lawyer that runs an art organization, so there's that. Talent's a plus, patience is a must. So, yeah, and if you're working in a classroom, people always say, like, do we pull all our teachers from an art school? And we're like, not always the best teachers. They're great artists, but working with students who, like you said before, might have traumatic life experiences, it's takes special skill and a lot of patience. So we welcome volunteers to get in touch with us either through our website, or you can see all the staff on our website too. You can email a staff member directly, but there is a volunteer form on our website if you'd like to get involved.
Okay. And what are some other ways that people can support you if they don't have time to volunteer but want to help? Right. What can they do?
Well, we have a great wish list on our website, and we always need support in the form of financial support, monetary support, and supplies and meals for our job program students. All of that. There's just a plethora of things that we need. So please reach out through the website and email either me at randy@artwiththeheart.net, or info will take you to our Director of Operations, and we can share more information about that.
All right, and we'll put some more of those links in the description. Well, thank you, Randi. This was great.
Thank you.
Loved it.
Thank you. You're going to volunteer now, right?
Maybe.
Okay.
Well, thank you again. This is Boots in Baltimore. Definitely come check out Art with a Heart. Come buy something. Come support us. Thank you.
Thank you.